Hi, everybody. Well, we're going to talk right now about disconnection because we're going to have a playlist in my YouTube channel that is now your YouTube channel. And that is going to be connected with the Foundation Jeffrey's Journey and Legacy Foundation. And our goal is to provide a public platform for all of you to share your stories with us. And when I said with us, with the 47,000 subscribers or more than 16 million viewers, and I hope that we grow and grow quickly, more and more and more, because the faster we grow, the more powerful we will become. So this topic is very delicate, so I'm gonna try to be very concise in the sense that I'm gonna speak only about our story, the story that we'll live. Later on in the webpage of Jeffrey's Journey and Legacy Foundation, I'm gonna have a lot of information about this topic, and on this playlist I will have also a lot of information about this topic. Besides that, I hope that many of you share your stories with us as soon as I provide all those emails. Anyway, this is our story. When Jeffrey went to the ER that terrible night of November 9, and we end at the ER of Methodist Hospital Medical Center in Houston, Texas. And we thought that Jeffrey was going to die. Jeffrey didn't. Jeffrey was moved to ICU. In a matter of 3 days, basically, we were addressed. My husband and I were addressed about that, the high probability of the high possibility to disconnect Jeffrey from life support. At that moment, immediately, George got almost insulted because he felt that Jeffrey was in coma. It has passed just 3 days, and he could not conceive a parent that could make a decision out of a tragedy like the one we were living, trying to assimilate the trauma, the tragedy, the what happened, and how we ended here. And to tell you, I don't even remember the first two or maybe even 3 days. I remember them because I have videos of them. So my mind was absolutely in the most total shock. So, but at that moment, they already started addressing us with such a horrible decision and topic. Well, long story short, the topic kept coming and kept coming. And in the 5 weeks that we were, 5-6 weeks, I don't even know exactly, that we were in ICU, the topic became so intense that an ICU nurse dared to tell my husband that some of the nurses, I don't know who, could be doing this. They were basically having a bet against who were going to be voting for Jeffrey to be withdrawn from life support and who would go say no. And one was me, one was George, and the other one was Jeffrey, biological father, who showed up. And they were actually betting who against who, you know? Incredible, is that right? But more incredible, the guy who had the balls to actually tell my husband. Which actually, to tell a little bit thing more, that same guy, that ICU nurse, used to call Jeffrey all the time, fried cerebellus. I didn't even know what that meant at that time. And I hear it. George hear it. He said it to George's face one day. Yes, the patient, the fried cerebellus. Yes, there's another story about that. Okay, so they start coming and calling us for meetings. Meetings, mind you, in a big room in the ICU where we were, at least I remember sitting there, at least 6 physicians. I could be wrong, possible. I was in total shock and trauma, but for sure was the case manager, which was the most, I will say, uncompassionate. I don't even know if that word exists in English. Lack of compassion. Cold. Rude to the point of brutality. Coercive. She was very coercive when she was dealing with us. That's another conversation. There were I guess somebody else from maybe administration. I don't know. Well, so they start telling us about the possibility of Jeffrey disconnection because he had the major brain trauma, which it was a terrific, horrible, agnostic. At that point was said that it was a diffused, ischemic, hypoxic brain damage. And also he had a multi organ failures. So at that moment, they start calling about the reality of Jeffrey's possibility of dying, and sooner or later, and more likely way sooner than later. And the other reality was that for Jeffrey, extending his life, living like this, was he was not going to have quality of life at all. Well, my point was that if they were so sure that Jeffrey was going to die, and more likely sooner than later, so let it go in peace and stop messing up with him and give him the opportunity to maybe come back, because there are so many cases of terrible, awful situations that miraculously people come back from the dead. So anyway, you have to give a chance, all right? It's your loved one. It's not disposable, something that I told them. And maybe others will say, hey, I know that it was your loved one and I know that you love him, but it was already in life support. So meaning, if you remove the life support, he, by his own, he could not live. So reality is that he was already dead by nature. Is that right? Well, yes and no. Because also when you have a heart transplant, it's the same. And also when you have other organs transplant, it's the same. And there are many cases that you have a major trauma in your body and you are in coma or induced coma, and you are you're living through machines who are sustaining your life for many weeks. But guess what? Is for a moment, because your body is recovering. It's a time for your body to give it a chance to recover of many trauma or whatever that has happened. So, because even for a heart transplant, they don't know if you're gonna live, if the new heart or the piece of pig of heart that they put you is gonna stick. Is that right? So, so there is a law in Texas that most of people don't have a clue that this law exists. And the law, it was established in 1999 and is called Texas Advance Directive Act. It's a long law, and I'm gonna have it in my website for the foundation. But basically, what it is that if the hospital and the physicians comes to the conclusion that your loved one should be removed from life support, and they have what they consider a strong case for it, because one of the reasons is that they feel that is not going to have quality of life. And mind you, things that they can remove. They can remove kidneys dialysis. They can stop that. They can stop a feeding tube so you can die horrible death. That cruelty, it cannot even go through my head, to be honest with you. The other one is they take from you everything that is hydration, water, fluids. Yes, fluids. Yes, you heard me. All medications, except pain medications. All medications. And of course, ventilators. And so you really get surprised of the things that little things that they can actually remove from you and take your life. So when there's a conflict between the families and the physicians and they don't come into agreement, they will call what they call the ethics committee, which we face and we dealt and we talk many times, and they change like 3 times different persons because we were impossible to deal with. So then after you go with the ethics committee, they also brought us a so-called pastor. God knows from what type of denomination, because I'm still trying to figure it out. I actually asked him. And because he was going to be a type of dialogue mediator, you know? Well, that one did not work at all. Actually, he left and he said that pretty much he never wanted to sit with us again. And pretty much never wanted to sit with us again was never want to sit with her again. And don't you think for a second that I was saying horrible words and that I was too stupid. No. I was extremely clever. God gave me a mouth and I was savvy. My husband is incredibly intelligent and he knows how to talk in a proper way and wonderfully. Me, I was clever. My tongue was a dart and it pierced you right there where it needed to be pursed, with the right comment, with the right question, with the right wondering about what about this. And it was God. I mean, it was God. But when at the end, when all these things end up in failure, because usually it does unless they seriously convince you, the law gives the right to the physician, the hospital, to take custody of your loved one. Oh, they give you, in the past, they used to give you 10 days, a notice of 10 days to move your loved one to another place. Mind you, your loved one is in a critical stage, is that right? So, and you're gonna be moving your loved one to another place in the state of Texas, another hospital that has the same rules. Because at the end of the day, the insurance company is the one that wants to save money. The insurance company is the one that wants to remove all the machines from you, because every day in ICU you cost a fortune. The sooner you die, the best. Oh, and let me remind you, you have a major beautiful gift for all of them. That's why they're keeping you alive, because you can donate all your organs, and then you become a hero. And I'm not making fun, or not even close, of those heroes who has done that. But sometimes these disgusting human beings that are part of this hell I don't care system have that agenda. And so, because the money is in the other side. And so, at the end, now in 2023, the law was changed, and so now we have the wonderful benefit that they give us 25 days to take our loved one somewhere else. However, in our case, my husband called pro-life movement, Texas pro-life movement, and we made several calls. We had them on the phone. They were giving us incredible advice, and at the end they made one single phone call. That single phone call, plus everything else that we have been doing for weeks and weeks, it closed the deal. Jeffrey was going to live, you like it or not. And well, Jeffrey has become a case for the book of science, and that's another story now. And it's gonna be in the movie. You got to watch the movie just for that one alone. I had many conversations with a doctor, and well, another case. So yes, this is the story, and I want to share it with you, and I want to give you the heads up about it. And if you have stories like that, start getting ready, because soon I'm going to let you know, very soon, like within a week, I'm gonna let you know all the emails where you're gonna start sending and sharing with us your stories, so we can create a major tsunami in Texas and all the US, if possible, of our stories of the calamity, the catastrophe of hell. I don't care, sister. The healthcare system in the United States. Sorry about it.